Welcome back to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being genuinely well-informed, packed with surprising facts, and just enough humor to keep you hooked. Today, we're zooming in on something a lot of you have asked about, navigating the exciting, sometimes pretty overwhelming world of modern cameras. We're doing a deep dive into three really popular models that, represent distinct paths in photography: the Canon EOS Rebel T7, the Nikon D7500, and the Sony ZV-E10. And our map for this journey is an excellent guide by Atakur Rahman called Canon versus Nikon versus Sony, a complete camera comparison guide. So, our mission today, it isn't just about listing specs, not at all. It's to really unpack the core ideas, the philosophies behind these choices, and help you figure out which camera truly aligns with your specific needs, your creative goals. Maybe you're looking to finally, step up from your smartphone. Perhaps you're getting serious about photography as a hobby, or you might be diving headfirst into content creation and need, a reliable visual partner. Whatever your goal is, we want to help you make a smart decision.
That's exactly right. And what's really crucial to get from the start is these aren't like just three random cameras picked out of a hat. They represent distinct, very deliberate approaches from the big brands. You've got Canon with its really beginner-friendly traditional DSLR way of thinking. Then Nikon showcasing its more advanced DSLR tech, aiming for, serious enthusiasts. And then there's Sony, which has really carved out a space in that mirrorless content creation market with the ZV-E10. So our goal, like you said, isn't to just declare one the best. No way. It's to give you the insights to find the best, the best for you.
Okay, all right, let's unpack this then. Let's get a clearer picture of how each camera is positioned right from the get-go. We're starting with the Canon EOS Rebel T7. It's also called the EOS 2000D in some places. Now, this is clearly set up as an entry-level DSLR that's digital single-lens reflex, with the mirror inside bouncing light up to the viewfinder. It's built for beginners. Our source even calls it Amazon's choice for cameras, which tells you a lot. It highlights its ease of use and that familiar, comfortable DSLR feel. It's kind of like a comfort blanket for people new to this. Then we have the Nikon D7500. Okay, this is also a DSLR, but it's definitely a step up. More advanced. It's targeting serious enthusiasts, maybe semi-pro photographers. The source tells us it offers professional-grade features in a relatively affordable package. So it suggests it's a big leap for someone really looking to, hone their craft. It's got that robust, traditional photography feel. A lot of experienced shooters still really like that. And finally, the Sony ZV-E10. Now, this one's a different kind of beast altogether. It's mirrorless, so no internal mirror mechanism. That allows for a smaller body, often faster electronics. And it's it basically tells you everything, right? It's specifically designed for content creators, vloggers, and videographers. It's even Amazon's overall pick in its category. So it really, really prioritizes video while still being strong for photos too.
Yeah, what's fascinating here is just how clearly each brand has carved out its niche with these models. You see it right away in those descriptions. You immediately get a sense of who it's for, what it's meant to do. The Canon T7, it signals simplicity, familiarity. Perfect for someone coming from a smartphone. Maybe just wants better family pictures, The Nikon D7500 speaks directly to the photographer who wants more control, needs durability, wants higher quality for things like landscape or sports photography. And the Sony ZV-E10, that just screams YouTube creator or influencer. It's designed to make producing video content as smooth as possible. This clear positioning, it really sets the stage for the comparison because knowing who the camera is built for, well, that's often half the battle in finding your perfect match.
I totally agree. And, if you're like me, the engine under the hood is what really counts. So let's get into the nitty-gritty stuff. Starting with the sensor and image quality. Okay, for the Canon EOS Rebel T7, we're looking at a 24.1 megapixel APS-C CMO sensor. Now, APS-C, that's a common sensor size. It's roughly 2/3 the size of a pro full-frame sensor. It gives a nice balance between image quality and portability. It's powered by a DIG 4+ image processor that's like the camera's brain. Its ISO range is 100 to 6400, and you can push it to 12800. The source describes its image processing as, basic, meaning it's designed for good results straight out of the camera, but maybe not for heavy editing later on. Okay, moving to the Nikon D7500. This has a 20.9 megapixel APS-C CMO sensor with an XP5 processor. Now, this camera boasts a much wider ISO range, 100 all the way up to 51,200. And crucially, the source notes its superior low light performance and that it supports lossless compressed RAW format. Now, Now that lossless RAW, it isn't just tech jargon. It's like having the original digital negative. It gives you amazing flexibility to pull out details in tricky lighting. It's a professional editor's dream, really. Then we have the Sony ZV-E10. This one packs a 24.2 megapixel APS-C Exmor CMO sensor and a Bionz-X processor. Its ISO range is 132,000, also expandable. But a standout feature here is its advanced real-time tracking and eye autofocus. So yeah, the megapixel counts are fairly close across the board, but the tech underneath, how that data gets processed, that's clearly quite different.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
And this is where you see the practical differences, If we boil down the winner verdict from the source for image quality, it's the Nikon D7500 that kind of comes out on top, especially for overall quality and low light stuff. That wider ISO range, the Expeed 5 processor, I mean, you could potentially shoot near darkness, maybe at a dimly lit wedding reception without blasting flash and still get usable shots. Preserve the mood. The Canon would really struggle there. But the Sony ZV-E10, while it's strong on image quality too, it really shines with its autofocus tech. And it's not just about speed, it's accuracy. If you're trying to track, say, a kid running around or keep your own face sharp while vlogging and moving, that Sony's advanced eye tracking in real-time AF is, well, it's a game changer. It just shows how different users prioritize different things in image capture. Low light versus amazing autofocus, for instance.
That's a really crucial distinction, especially now. So many people are hybrid shooters needing good stills and video. So how does that translate then to their video capabilities? Let's turn our lens to video. The Canon EOS Rebel T7, it offers full HD 1080p. You get 30, 25, or 24 frames per second. Our source calls these pretty straightforwardly basic video features with limited video focused options. So it'll get the job done for simple clips, capturing a quick moment. But you probably shouldn't expect like cinematic magic or high-end production quality. Okay, the Nikon D7500 steps things up quite a bit. It offers 4K UHD video, also at 30, 25, or 24 frames per second. And it does full HD at more frame rates, 60, 50, 30, 25, 24. That 60p is great for smoother motion or some slow-mo. It also brings in time-lapse and slow motion capabilities and is noted for having professional video features. So this sounds like a really solid option for more serious video work, maybe short films, documentaries, where you need that higher resolution and more control. Now, the Sony ZV-E10, this is where video truly takes center stage. It almost feels like it was born to record moving images. It records 4K at 30 or 24 frames per second, and importantly, it's oversampled.
Yeah, that oversampling is a big deal.
Right. Explain that quickly.
Sure. Oversampled 4K basically means the camera's actually capturing more data, maybe like 6K resolution, and then intelligently shrinking it down to 4K. So you start with way more detail, and the final 4K image ends up much sharper, cleaner, less noisy. It's a quality thing.
Got it. So higher quality 4K, plus it does full HD at up to 120 frames per second. That's for really smooth, slow motion effects. But it's those vlog-specific features that really define it, aren't they? Things like the product showcase mode.
Super useful.
Which automatically shifts focus when you hold something up to the camera. Then there's real-time eye autofocus for video, making sure your face stays sharp, and even a built-in directional microphone. That aims to get better audio right out of the camera, which is a huge plus for creators starting out.
So if you connect these features directly to the source's video winner, it tells you a lot about who they're for. The Sony ZV-10 is the clear leader for content creation, for vlogging, specifically because of those tailored features. That product showcase mode alone, it solves a major headache for review channels. The Nikon D7500, though, it wins for more traditional video work. It offers the high resolution, the professional controls, but without all the vlogging-centric bells and whistles. So if we connect this to the bigger picture, these specific tools empower very different kinds of creators. The Sony is designed to make the vlogger's life easier. It's almost like a portable studio in one box. While the Nikon offers more robust traditional filmmaking capabilities for someone who might use it in a larger production or just needs more technical depth.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah, they clearly prioritize different things. Let's talk briefly about build quality and design. How do they feel? How tough are they? The Canon EOS Rebel T7, it features that traditional DSLR design. It's quite lightweight, about 245 grams just for the body, offers basic weather protection, and has a comfortable grip. So this suggests it's easy to handle for casual use. You pick it up, it feels familiar. The Nikon D7500, on the other hand, is described as having a robust professional build and weather-sealed construction.
Big difference there.
Yeah, definitely. It makes it heavier, but way more durable. It also includes dual memory card slots, fantastic for backup, or just shooting longer and an advanced control layout that hints at its more pro leanings. This is a camera built to handle tougher conditions. Then, the Sony ZV-E10, conversely, has that compact mirrorless design. A key feature is its flip-out LCD screen, which is perfect for vlogging, filming yourself, but importantly, it has no viewfinder. It's LCD only for composing your shots, and it sports a modern minimalist design, really prioritizing portability and that direct screen interaction for making content.
Yeah, this section really highlights some key trade-offs, doesn't it? When the source summarizes the build quality winner, it points straight to the Nikon D7500 for that pro build and durability. That weather sealing isn't just marketing fluff, it genuinely gives you peace of mind if you get caught in rain on a hike or you're shooting in dusty places. The Canon T7, meanwhile, gets points for being portable and having that comfortable classic DSLR grip, easy to hold. And for the Sony, well, that flip-out screen is functionally massive for self-recording. It makes the lack of a viewfinder a very deliberate design choice for its target user. It means you're pretty much always shooting using the screen as your main interface, which feels very natural for vloggers, but it can be tough in really bright sunlight where a viewfinder really shines. So you're trading that traditional precision for modern convenience, essentially.
That's a great point about the viewfinder versus screen in practice. Okay, so what does all this tech and design talk mean for you, the listener, the potential buyer? Let's shift into analyzing the best 4 categories, making this really relevant to your needs. First up, the Canon EOS Rebel T7 is highlighted as best for beginners. Makes sense. It's seen as ideal for first-time DSLR buyers, casual family photographers, people on a budget, and anyone who just wants simplicity. Its strengths: a user-friendly interface that feels pretty intuitive, access to that huge Canon lens ecosystem, we'll touch on that more reliable performance for everyday stuff, and good long battery life, always a plus. The limitations, as we've kind of gathered, are its basic video, an older processor that might feel slow for some things, and fewer advanced features. Meaning, yeah, you might outgrow it if your passion really explodes. Okay, next. The Nikon D7500 is called best for serious enthusiasts. This camera targets those serious photography hobbyists, semi-pros, especially folks shooting sports or wildlife, and anyone needing that weather sealing. Its strengths are pretty numerous. Pro-level image quality, excellent low-light ability for tricky shots, that tough weather-sealed build we mentioned, advanced autofocus for action, and lots of manual controls for total creative command. The flip side: its limitations are that it's heavier, bulkier, probably more complex for a total beginner, and definitely has a higher learning curve. This is not a point-and-shoot camera. And finally, the Sony ZV-E10 is crowned best for content creators. This camera really excels for vloggers, YouTubers, influencers, people doing a mix of photo and video, and those who prioritize modern features, connectivity. Its strengths are clear. Purpose-built for making content, excellent video autofocus, that essential flip-out screen. It's compact, travel-friendly, and packed with modern mirrorless features like easy smartphone connection. The trade-offs we noted: no built-in viewfinder, shorter battery life than the DSLRs, and it might feel a bit limited for purely traditional photography if that's your main thing, especially if you love manual dials.
And this really brings up an important point. How do these very distinct profiles ensure that each camera, even with its limitations, offers real value to the person it's designed for? The source makes it pretty clear. The Canon T7 being Amazon's choice, well, that's not just random. It signals its huge appeal and customer satisfaction for beginners who want simplicity and something familiar. The Nikon D7500's strong position caters perfectly to that dedicated group of photographers who value ruggedness and maybe that optical viewfinder experience. And the Sony ZV-E10's overall pick status for content creation shows it absolutely nails its target audience. It delivers the features they care most about, even if it needs compromises elsewhere, like the viewfinder. So yeah, each camera is really a master of its own specific domain.
And that choice. Often it's not just about the camera body you buy today, is it? It's also about the whole system, the ecosystem you're stepping into. Let's talk price, value, and those critical ecosystem considerations. Our source notes, yeah, these cameras sit in different price brackets. Canon's the entry level, Nikon is mid-range, and the Sony is priced competitively for what it offers content creators. But that ecosystem, the lenses, the accessories, that's a long-term investment. So the Canon ecosystem, it boasts a vast selection of EF and EFS lenses. EF are for full-frame cameras, EFS for these APS-C ones like the T7. So a huge range of options. There's extensive third-party support too, from brands like Sigma Sigma, Tamron. Canon's known for its consistent color science, which many people like, and it generally offers an easy upgrade path within the Canon system, from beginner to pro. For the Nikon ecosystem, you get a professional-grade f-mount lens selection. These lenses often have excellent build quality. Nikon's noted as being particularly strong in wildlife and sports photography, partly thanks to amazing long lenses. And it's important to note, Nikon is transitioning to Z-mount mirrorless system, even though it's renowned for image quality in its f-mount DSLRs.
That transition point is key.
Yeah. And then the Sony ecosystem, this is all about cutting-edge mirrorless technology. It has a rapidly expanding E-mount lens selection. E-mount is Sony's mirrorless mount. There's strong third-party support here too. And Sony is famous for its industry-leading autofocus technology. It's clearly focused on future-focused development, very forward-looking.
And this point about choosing an ecosystem, it's so vital because it really is a long-term investment, often more significant than the initial camera body purchase. If you connect this to the bigger picture, you're not just buying a camera for right now. You're often committing to a system that hopefully will grow with you for years. Think about the cost of lenses. The Canon T7 might come with a basic kit lens, very affordable to start. But upgrading to, say, a nice prime lens, that could easily be a few $100s or more. Nikon f-mount lenses, especially the pro ones, can be a serious investment, but they are built like tanks and tend to hold their value well. And Sony's E-mount has just seen this explosion of options, both Sony's own lenses and great third-party ones, giving you a lot of flexibility, maybe at different price points too. And that transitioning to Z-mount for Nikon, that's a really critical thing for potential Nikon DSLR buyers to consider now. While the older f-mount lenses work great on the new Z-mount mirrorless cameras using an adapter, all the future development, the exciting new stuff, is clearly happening in Z-mount. So if you invest heavily in f-mount glass today, you need to be aware you're investing in an older system, even if it's excellent. Meanwhile, Sony is all in on E-mount mirrorless. They're constantly pushing the boundaries there. So yeah, this decision about ecosystem, it shapes your future upgrades, your creative options, even your long-term budget. It's huge.
That's a fantastic point about the long view. Yeah, it's not just a purchase. It's almost like a strategic alliance with a brand, isn't it? Okay, let's tie it all together then. Let's get to the final recommendations based on Atikur Rahman's clear guidance in the source material. Choose the Canon EOS Rebel T7 if you're genuinely new to photography, you're watching your budget, you actually prefer that traditional DSLR handling because it feels familiar, and you value long battery life for just carefree shooting. It's your straightforward, dependable entry point into this bigger world of photography. Okay, choose the Nikon D7500 if you're serious about photography and you need more professional features. If you prioritize top-notch image quality, especially in low light, if you often shoot in challenging conditions, think sports, wildlife, maybe bad weather, and crucially, if you're willing to invest time learning the more advanced techniques, this is really for the enthusiast who wants to grow their skills and demands more from their equipment. And finally, choose the Sony ZV-E10 if you create content for social media, for YouTube, if video just as important to you as still photos, if you value modern features like that amazing autofocus and easy connectivity, and if you prioritize portability and just ease of use for making content on the move, this is your dedicated vlogging machine, basically, built for the modern creator.
Exactly. And ultimately, your choice should absolutely align with your specific needs, your skill level, and what you actually plan to do with the camera, not just brand loyalty. And while, mirrorless cameras like the Sony ZV-E10 definitely represent the future direction for much of the industry, traditional DSLRs like the Canon T7 and the Nikon D7500, they continue to effectively serve very specific users and needs. They still have their place. All three of these cameras, regardless of their differences, they're all capable of producing truly excellent results. When they're paired with the right photographer, someone who learns how to use them, it really just comes down to what story you want to tell and how you want to tell it.
And that leads us perfectly into our final thought for you to maybe chew on. What truly defines the best camera for your unique story? Is it the raw specs on paper? Is it the vast ecosystem of lenses and flashes and mics? Or is it maybe something less tangible, just the way it feels in your hand, the way it inspires you when you're out there capturing your unique view of the world? Whatever path you choose, understanding these different philosophies, these different approaches from Canon, Nikon, and Sony, that's really the first crucial step to telling your story effectively. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today.